thyroid, especially since 60% of those with a thyroid disease are unaware of their condition. Here to tell us more is Dr. Otto Gibbs, endocrinologist, diabetes, and metabolism specialist at Your Health Bahamas. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the thyroid and what its role is in the body.
Okay, so the thyroid is a small butterfly-shaped gland that's located in the anterior or the front part of the neck. And it produces thyroid hormone, of course. So these thyroid hormones they play a key role, an integral role in terms of regulating your metabolism, your energy levels, and they are responsible for a host of other bodily functions. They play a pivotal role in terms of your overall health, and any dysfunction or imbalance in terms of the thyroid hormone can cause a host of issues in terms of your health.
You know, Thyroid Awareness Month, once again, is all about educating people, and we're saying up to 60% of people aren't aware, that they have a problem in the first place. What are some of the signs and symptoms that make you aware, and what, I guess, are some of those reactions if your thyroid is not working properly?
Okay, good. So in terms of thyroid conditions that we commonly see, three of the most common conditions that, as an endocrinologist, that we see are: one, hypothyroidism; two, hyperthyroidism. So hypothyroidism being a deficiency.
I was just going to say, you got to break that down for us.
Hypothyroidism being a deficiency in the production of thyroid hormones for one cause or another. Usually it's autoimmune. Hyperthyroidism can also be autoimmune cause, but it's an overproduction in terms of the thyroid hormones. And then third, I would say that we commonly see thyroid nodules or thyroid tumors. Okay? And in terms of some of the signs and symptoms that present in hypothyroidism, people can present with hair loss. Mood-wise, they can have depression. In terms of their skin, they may notice that their skin becomes a little bit dry, a little bit more brittle. In terms of one of the common presentation is they have issues in terms of their temperature regulation. I don't know if you've ever been around someone who's in the room and they're just like, oh my gosh, I feel so cold. And everybody else is like, oh, the temperature is normal. Mm-hmm. Other than that, they have issues with weight. They have weight gain, unintentional weight gain, or difficulty with losing weight. And then in terms of their GI symptoms, they can present with constipation as well. In terms of hyperthyroidism, they can also present with hair loss. They have more hyper or overactivity from the thyroid gland. So these persons can present with symptoms of mood changes like anxiety. They also can have issues in terms of a very fast heart rate or feel symptoms of palpitations. They can have increased appetite, also present with GI symptoms such as diarrhea. Okay, and in both hypo and hyperthyroidism, especially in females, they can have issues in terms of their menstrual cycles, and they also affect energy levels in both. Now, in terms of thyroid nodules or thyroid tumors, these simply usually present with either a mass or a growth or a lump presenting in the neck area. So it's very important to be aware of these signs and symptoms for most of these common conditions.
So if someone, detects some of these symptoms or, is genuinely just curious, what are their treatment options? How do they get diagnosed in the first place? And then once that diagnosis takes place, what are the steps that they take?
So anyone presenting with these signs and symptoms, I would encourage them to either see their physician or present to an endocrinologist. In terms of diagnosing these, there are some blood tests that help to differentiate the different causes between hypo and hyperthyroidism. And then there's a multitude of treatment options based on what it is that they're presenting with. So that can range from anything from alteration within their diet to medications that can stop overactive thyroid or hyperthyroidism, And then we can have hormone replacement therapy for those who are deficient in terms of their production of thyroid. Now, as it pertains to the nodules, usually this is investigated by imaging, either by a radiologist or an endocrinologist like myself. And what we do is an ultrasound image of the growth, and we look at certain characteristics of this growth. And what we're concerned about is whether or not this looks like cancer. Mm-hmm. And if it does, then we would want to biopsy it and send those cells to the lab to make sure that it is. And based on those results, we'll pursue further treatment for these patients.
You know, during the introduction, I mentioned that 60% of thyroid disease goes undiagnosed. How do we find out? You know, perhaps you don't necessarily notice, because a lot of the symptoms that you mentioned could be construed with other illnesses or even just having a bad day, really. So how does one get tested to find out if they have any problems?
So again, the key thing is getting screened, okay, presenting to your physician if you do have symptoms of the such, and then ask questions, okay? This is very important in terms of being able to catch this early on. And being able to catch this early on would allow us the opportunity to give you early intervention and treatment for such things.
You mentioned modifications to your diet. What are some of the foods that we can eat for a healthy thyroid?
So, excellent. The nutrition is key in terms of thyroid health. What we recommend is a balanced diet, and a balanced diet that consists of things, the micronutrients such as selenium, zinc, and iodine. Okay, seafood is very rich in terms of iodine. There are certain foods that you would want to avoid in terms of someone who has hypothyroidism. Foods in terms of excess intake, not to say that you can't have them, but excess intake in soy, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, broccoli, those sort of foods, they have been shown to either interfere with the absorption of thyroid hormone or the production of thyroid hormone itself.
I've seen a lot of just content. Well, actually, I want to mix these two questions together in the interest of time. I've seen a lot of content on the internet about fixing your gut to help balance your hormones X, Y, and Z. Does that all roll up into thyroidism? And what, I guess, message would you like to leave with the viewers as we celebrate, in a sense, Thyroid Awareness Month?
Okay, so in terms of definitely diet, right? There are certain autoimmune conditions, I think, that you may be pointing to that affect the absorption, right? There are certain things that may not necessarily be related to that, which we would undergo further investigations. That's kind of a little slightly different talk. It gets a little bit more deep into that. What I would like to leave with the viewers are, I would recommend that we prioritize thyroid health. Okay, go and get your regular screenings. Okay, have a conversation with your physician or come and see an endocrinologist. Okay, what we would like to do is promote awareness, educate the community. Okay, because knowledge is power. And if we empower our people out there, then we can ensure that there's better thyroid health for everyone.
Absolutely. And if somebody wants to visit your health to get their thyroid screening, how do they get in contact with you?
So you can call our offices at 603-0405 or 603-0406. We're located in the Cable Beach Shops Plaza.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com. Meet Leno, your bridge to the future. Wealth planning, investments, corporate services, trust services, pension administration, fund administration, outsourced accounting, and payroll. When you think of financial solutions, think of Leno. Local or international, company or individual, Leno can help. Our team of skilled professionals has the experience and expertise needed for you to strive. Your goals are our goals and our priority. Leno will guide you to the right financial solution with the knowledge, resources, and support you need. Give us a call at 242-396-3225 or email us at info@lenobahamas.com to get started. Visit our website, www.lenobahamas.com, for more information today. Leno, your bridge to the future.
African Things is your one-stop shop for everything African. Make a bold fashion statement with vibrant colors and intricate patterns inspired by the beauty of Africa. Find trendy contemporary looks for every occasion and enjoy custom tailoring. Shop jewelry, purses, art, cosmetics, and much more. African Things is located in the Dugard Plaza, Palmdale, next to McDonald's. Open Tuesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Come get your African Things.
Join us for the Bahamas Business Outlook Conference, Thursday, January 25th, 8:45 a.m. at the Bahamar Convention Center. We're bringing the business community together under the theme, Future Bahamas, branding the national identity and planning for success. The day includes a business expo, lunch, an art tour, keynote address by Prime Minister Davis, exciting panels, and so much more. Begin your year on a high note. Get your tickets today at tclevents.com.
Welcome back. The Bahamas Charter Yacht Show 2024 will be held in Nassau, January 25th through 28th. Here to tell us more is Peter Maury, founder and past president of the Association of the Bahamas Marinas. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
All right, so tell us all about the Charter Yacht Show, or the Bahamas Charter Yacht Show. What is it all about?
Well, the main purpose of the show is to obviously showcase the Bahamas, introduce a lot of the brokers, foreign brokers, local brokers, bring them into one place that they can see the boats in the actual marinas, go on board, understand, what the makeup and setup for each boat is, and the crew and on the yachts, they basically have a competition within the whole show where they all try to compete to showcase, who has the best theme, who has the best drinks, so it's all a mix of stuff. But the focus is, when the brokers go back to wherever they're from, Europe, North America, they can, when they talk to a client that wants to come to, book a charter yacht to the Bahamas, they can go and speak, effectively to them about, because they'd actually been here, been on the boat, experienced some of our local excursions and stuff like that.
With a huge undertaking like this, it's usually a collaborative effort to put something like this together. Who are the partners that are responsible for this?
Well, mainly the Association of Bahamas Marinas. We're made up of over 50 marinas all through the Bahamas. So for the southern marinas and the northern marinas that can't, that we can't get all the brokers to just because of logistics, it gives them a chance to showcase their marinas. It's also the International Yacht Brokers Association, which is, I forget how many members, but there's a lot. I mean, they're all over the world. And we even have local brokers from the Bahamas Yacht Brokers Association that are involved in it. and Ministry of Tourism. It was pretty much, you know, that's all different entities there.
So this is the second year for the show. Talk about the experience last year and what's going to be different this year.
Last year, to be honest, I mean, we were a little taken aback at how popular this show became so quickly. We'd done it before, you know, we'd been trying to kick it off during COVID, and you know, we even had a couple shows over in Florida because of travel restrictions and stuff. We couldn't get people here. So last year was really our first official, you know, it's going to be here. We had 4 marinas involved, all local marinas, and it was so well attended, it actually doubled what we had projected. We had twice the brokers, twice the yachts. So this year we said, okay, well, you know, we had always intended it to be the biggest charter yacht show in this region, Caribbean, and you know, so we prepared for that, and we now have 85 yachts and over 150 brokers. So it's taken off. You know, our goal was 3 years, and we're we're there in 2. So it's a very popular destination, and a lot of interest in you know, getting to our 1,200 islands. So.
You know, you talked about the global association and people coming from all around the world. Who is this show really geared toward? What is your target audience?
The boat, well, the first thing is the yachts travel, never stop. I mean, they go from New England, they have a Newport charter yacht show, all the way through the Caribbean. You know, they go through the Panama Canal. A lot of these yachts are doing the West Coast now. There's more marinas open up there. Obviously, they cross the Atlantic in the summer for 4 months. They go all through the Med. You know, so everybody that basically vacations in any of those destinations that's been on a yacht, you know, we're trying to bring them here to the Bahamas. We're, you know, the largest base of yachts is actually in the Med and Mediterranean, and so, you know, a lot of and that's where a lot of the bigger super yachts are, and obviously, you know, they bring a lot different, you know, perspective and level of wealth to their destination. So we're trying to get those people here and across the Atlantic. You know, we got to get them up through the Caribbean and into the Bahamas. We're actually the last stop, you know, compared to that bigger fleet, that's a big focus for us. We get a lot of the North American market, but, you know, of course, they go to the Caribbean as well. So that's our goal, and our focus is to get the people that haven't been here to, you know, consider us as a destination.
You talked about 150 brokers in attendance on the island. What is the advantage of having them here at the destination itself?
Well, for Bahamians, it's, you know, it's room nights, it's restaurants. We do, the shows are in the marinas on the yachts, which they go and see during the day, but then we do, we have 4 events, because it's 4 days, so we have 4 evening events, which are basically a cocktail party. But after that, the brokers, you know, they go to dinner, they go to, you know, do other shopping, excursions, the room nights, and of course, you know, hopefully, you know, they enjoy it, they learn enough about it that, you know, they have future, you know, vacations and visits.
Why is the yachting market so important for the Bahamas?
Well, it's one of the fastest growing hospitality industries there is. Asia has, you know, exceeded their growth numbers, and actually the rest of the industry. They're becoming a popular destination. They're building a lot more yachts over there. There's, you know, mega yachts being built in the Med and North America right now that are coming on stream in the next 5 years. So for us, in an $85 billion industry that, you know, is growing exponentially, I think it offers huge employment opportunities. And I mean, the one thing about a boat, anybody that has had one, there's so many different aspects to it, you know, from mechanical to technical to even, you know, working on them. And for the Bahamas, I think everywhere they go, and all through the Bahamas, they travel there on their own. It's, you know, it's very simple, especially our southern islands. it brings new commerce to out island communities.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important, at a high level. I mean, the charter yacht industry and the yacht industry is a 30% higher wage earner than similar land-based jobs. So that brings, when we talk about minimum wage and things like that, this is a lot higher scale.
Absolutely. And what is the work of the Association of Bahamas Marinas apart from fabulous events like these?
Well, our main goal is to bring all the marinas together and offer itineraries and destinations for the yachts. I mean, we have, like I said, so many southern marinas and smaller marinas that don't normally get included. Obviously, everybody knows where Nassau is, and we have 9 huge marinas here, but in the Abacos and Eleutheras, and then further on down, there's a couple new marinas coming on stream, past Long Island that want recognition. So we bring them recognition and represent them, because at the end of the day, say you have a 7-day, 10-day charter, the boats just don't want to just go to one resort and sit there. They travel. The people on board want to travel and see, different destinations. And as a Bahamian, I can tell you there's so many different cultural in our island groups, cultural experiences, and as we know, everybody always says what island group they're from. Bahamians, I mean, it just offers a different perspective. So that's our purpose, is to get that message out there that that if you've been to Nassau, you haven't necessarily seen the Bahamas. We have so much more to offer.
Absolutely. And if somebody wants to check out the show, can they just stroll on by, or how does that work?
Well, with the charter show, in that respect, it's a trade show. So it's specifically designed for the people in the industry. So we bring the brokers in, we have the captains there, and then we have 50 Bahamian businesses that are involved, where they represent everything from provisioning to technical experts. We have a couple of companies that provide hardware and things like that show. Plus there's all the other services. I mean, things that people just don't even think of in tourism, but laundry services and carpet cleaning services. I mean, at the level these yachts operate, a charter guest might get off and the boats turn around for the next charter. For a boat, you're paying $250,000 for an experience. Mm-hmm. They have all the carpets cleaned, all the bedding changed, everything. You have to have. So it's very, it's a very for the people in the industry, especially Bahamians, transportation. There's so many things that they get a chance to actually touch. The captain or the broker, so that when they plan these trips, because the brokers make, at this level they plan the trip where the guest basically gets on a plane, and everything is taken care of from wherever they're leaving from. So, from the time they land to the car, to the, to the boat, to the dock experience, to, their out island experience, all of this is all set up for them. They don't have to sit there and wonder what they're going to do today, or even call somebody. So this is where we have these local vendors that all through the islands that can have a chance to reach out to them. So it's bringing everybody here to the Bahamas so they can touch it, feel it, and talk to the people in the industry, so they don't have to go and get it at a trade show somewhere else. So I think that's important.
Well, I just want to say congratulations to you and your team. I know you said the previous events have exceeded expectations, and I hope that this one does as well.
Well, we continue to grow, I hope, and we'll be one of the leading destinations for charter yacht shows.
Absolutely. Thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
The Euro device is very affordable. It allows you to increase your internet connectivity. You are able to do away with the buffering, say goodbye to the dead spots. It gives them a much more stable connection. Their customers are able to view their digital menus. The establishment is able to stream. It allows for everyone, the customers and the business operators, to have a much more robust and stable internet connectivity.
used to think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem, just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
Hey Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while doing my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way.
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage a claim.
Oh? By the way, it's not newer. It's NUA. Where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I am your host, Davriel Gardner, and I'm hoping that you're having a fantastic Friday. I've gotten a few requests to put out a missing persons report from my co-host, Mark Daniels. He's been out for the past few shows. He has been under the weather. But a little birdie told me that he's hoping to be back on Monday, and so we'll just continue to keep him lifted in our prayers. We've had a great show so far. We've been talking about the importance of checking on your thyroid health. We also talked about the Bahamas Charter Yacht Show and some really exciting things going on with that, and we have more to look forward to. We've got some great stuff, like I said, in our second half. Bahamas Aquatics is here to talk about the Carifta Aquatics Championships, which is happening in March. And we'll hear about Operation Potcake and how that's helping pets get spayed and neutered. But before all that, we're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by NUA, the hands-on agency.
Thank you, Davriel, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, the old frontal boundary across the extreme North Bahamas is triggering off some showers and possible thunderstorms this morning across the extreme North Bahamas as it drifts towards the north. A second front will move in here sometime late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and that's going to be some cooler temperatures along with it over the weekend. High pressure builds behind that, so we have some breezy conditions starting late week into the early next week. In the marine forecast, we're going to start a small craft advisory for you boaters out there, for those winds start increasing late tomorrow night and through early next week. So we have that advisory posted, and we actually stay in on the airport over the next several days. In the marine forecast today, those winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in northwest and central Bahamas, southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the southeastern islands. Then on Saturday, across the extreme northwest Bahamas, those winds are northerly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet, over the remaining islands light and variable, seas 1 to 3 feet. On Sunday, those winds got northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet in northwest Bahamas, 15 to 25 knots, seas 6 to 9 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a low tide at 8:42 this morning. Your next high tide will be at 2:27 this afternoon. Low gain this evening at 8:43. Sunset 5:43 this evening. Rises tomorrow at 6:56. UV index 7. Your water temperature 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase last quarter. As for the weekend, got variable cloudiness today into tomorrow as those two fronts, one left to the north, then they have the second moving through late tonight and tomorrow with a couple of showers, and breezy conditions building because high pressure will build after the front passes tomorrow. Extreme North Bahamas, we have a caution posted on Saturday, and then by the early next week, we have an advisory posted across all the islands. That puts her up on your Final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Gabrielle.
Thanks, Godfrey. The 2024 Carifta Aquatics Championships will be held right here at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center, March 28th through April 7th. Here to give us an update are Algernon Cargill, President of the Bahamas Aquatics Federation, and Jurelle Mullings, CEO, Carifta Aquatics 2024 Local Organizing Committee. That was a mouthful. Good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you. All right, so we know when it comes to aquatics and Carifta, we are the champions. And so this is a really exciting conversation. Talk about the fact that, you know, we've just come off a really impressive winning streak when it comes to aquatics.
Yes, in aquatics, we are very proud of our record. We've won Carifta Aquatics for 5 consecutive years. As a matter of fact, we're so proud that we can say that we're the only country in the Caribbean to have done this, and certainly the only local federation to have ever won Carifta for 5 consecutive years. So we're happy to showcase our swimmers here in Nassau and hopefully obtain a 6th title here at the Betty Kelly Kenny Aquatic Center this year.
What do you think is the secret to Team Bahamas' success?
Well, the secret is the coaches, the athletes, and the family. Swimming is a very close-knit community, and it requires a lot of discipline. We have some great coaches in the Bahamas. As a matter of fact, one of our coaches won the National Coach of the Year award. And the parents are extremely committed. For a Carifta swimmer, they have to have that swimmer in the pool at 6 a.m. in the morning. The swimmer leaves around 7:15 and heads to school. After school, back in the pool at 4, and then they leave at 6 or 7, and the day starts over the next morning. So it requires a lot of commitment. We have some very, very good swimmers and swimming athletes also.
Speaking of that commitment, and the stakes are very high because we're hosting this year, how is training for this year's competition?
Well, that's a good question. We're happy to be training in the 25-meter pools. The 50-meter pool is currently being refurbished, so that when we welcome our 26 other countries to the Bahamas, that we can showcase a brand new refurbished Betty Kelly Kenny Aquatic Center. The swimmers are actually going to Miami this weekend to train or to compete in a 50-meter meet in order that they can obtain qualifying times. But the pool should be open in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and that will give us time to get in that pool just before Carifta starts.
All right, Ms. Mullings, how many athletes are we anticipating from these multiple destinations, and how many countries will be represented?
Okay, so the registrations are flowing in. We anticipate over 500 athletes from over 26 countries. Yes.
That is really exciting. What does that preparation look like for an event of this scale? Again, hosting it on our shores. What does the preparation process for hosting Carifta Aquatics look like?
Well, I can say that we have a dynamic LOC team. Special thanks to the Bahamas Aquatics Federation. Many of their members have stepped up to the challenge and are leading the various areas. So we have finance, operations, marketing, venue, logistics. So it's basically a full-fledged corporation. Many moving parts, but again, we have a dynamic team. We meet all the time, and everyone is working diligently to ensure that we represent the Bahamas at the top class on the global stage.
When will the 2024 Team Bahamas be announced?
As late as possible. We want to take every advantage of the opportunity we have to announce the team late. We have swimmers in the USA who are training to make this team, as well as the local swimmers. So we would expect to announce our team by March 1st because it starts on March 30th swimming. The athletes start to arrive on March the 28th. So as late as we can announce our team, we're going to take advantage of that. Because, as I said, the 50-meter pool is not operational. So the minute that pool is ready and available, then we will ensure that the athletes jump in and start to obtain qualifying times. We normally only have qualifiers on the team, and we are limited to 36 swimmers, and that would be a 36-member, very strong team led by Marvin Johnson, who we know has just signed with the University of Florida to swim for that top team. He'll be swimming along with Katie Ledecky to tell you the type of competition that he'll be swimming with.
So how is corporate Bahamas helping make this happen? Because we talked about a lot of logistics, you know, lots of people coming in. What does that sponsorship look like?
It's been slow, and that's the conundrum we have in that swimming is the premier sport in the Bahamas, in that we have won Carifta for so many times. But for some reason, we are not attracting the same level of support as track and field. We sent out a lot of requests. We're knocking on doors, and we're inviting corporate Bahamas to come and support these athletes. They are young Bahamians representing the Bahamas. They have done so with a great deal of pride and success. So we want corporate Bahamas to really help us to ensure that we can put on a first-class Carifta championships. We're looking for a title sponsor. We're talking to a few companies who have sponsored before. And hopefully one of these companies will come through and say, look, we want to have our brand tied to the Bahamas Aquatics Federation and the government of the Bahamas as the title sponsor for the 2024 Carifta Games here in Nassau.
And apart from corporate Bahamas, what can regular, everyday Bahamians do to support Carifta Aquatics?
Well, we do have fan supporter packages. Packages start for as little as $500, and it goes on up. So every dollar counts in an event like this. So the regular or our community can definitely support, stand behind the Carifta Aquatics Championships with donations. They can call us or contact us at Carifta2024@bahamasaquatics.com, and one of our team members can definitely sit and speak with them one-on-one to build a package that's beneficial for both.
You know, hosting Carifta Aquatics is huge. That is a huge deal, a huge task, and you definitely want to represent well. So I don't want to minimize that. But what else does Bahamas Aquatics have in store?
Well, we'll be competing in the World Championships in Doha, Qatar next month. 4 athletes will be traveling to Doha to compete and hopefully obtain Olympic qualifying times. The Carifta 2024 will be a Paris qualifier. And actually for the first time in Carifta history this year, athletes 18 and over will be able to compete in the Carifta Championships. It's an attempt to obtain additional qualifying athletes from around the region to come here. And we're actually seeing a lot of interest in the senior athletes competing in Carifta, because normally Carifta is an age group meet. It stops at age 17. But this year, for the first time, 18 and overs will be able to compete. And of course, our national championships will be held just in time for the Paris qualifier. It's actually the last global meet that athletes can compete in order to qualify for Paris 2024.
You know, over the past few years, particularly the last 5 years, but for quite some time now, the Bahamas has been really entering the minds of, you know, competitors around the world as a force when it comes to swimming. What changes do you think have, I guess, predicated that shift?
Well, that's a good question. The Bahamas Aquatics, we're very happy about our federation. We have had some really great ambassadors of the sport. For example, Aranha Wallace, we're very proud of her. She's retired now, but she was the first Bahamian athlete to make an Olympic game finals. Marvin Johnson, he's swimming for high school in Tennessee. He's set already several state records in Tennessee in swimming. And we have a lot of other young swimmers. Celeste Gibson, for example. She won the Bahamas National Junior Athlete of the Year award from the Bahamas government. And we're actually happy about all of these things, and they actually indicate a great foundation. And our swimmers actually are great academians in that we recognize over 150 swimmers who competed in the national championships as having GPAs of 3.5 and above. So somehow they're able to balance swimming and academics, and the success of winning Carifta really has put us on a great position regionally. But for some reason in the Bahamas, we seem not to be able to have that same level of respect as 5-time Carifta champions. And it's no easy feat to do that. And the Bahamian public will be able to come out and see firsthand the quality of swimming, the quality of our team, and hopefully we'll be able to pull off at 6 feet here in Nassau.
And just remind us of the contact information if anybody out there, potentially a personal or a corporate sponsor wants to support. How can they get in touch?
They can reach us via email at carifta2024@bahamasaquatics.com. And they can also reach out to myself in Algernon. My number is 429-7170.
And I am 427-2711. And our marketing team, headed by Lynn Freno and Zoe Maynard Gibson, they can contact them also. And they are Lynn at BahamasAquatics.com and Zoe at BahamasAquatics.com. So if you contact Lynn, Zoe, Jurelle, myself, we'll be able to ensure that every Bahamian who wants to can compete, can participate in some way in the Carifta Games here in Nassau.
Absolutely. We definitely hope that Team Bahamas gets the support and the recognition that they deserve on this, hopefully 6th consecutive Carifta Aquatics win. So I just want to say thank you for joining us this morning to talk about this.
And thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. And thank you for watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Here are 3 young people who stopped attending high school and got disengaged in their educational journey due to the pandemic. Today, they are proudly taking their walk all over the place because they took advantage of BTVI's Smart Start initiative. All high school students in New Providence and the Family Islands can participate in free hands-on learning to improve employability. Learn basic literacy and numeracy skills and earn a BTVI certificate in automotive mechanics, beauty and construction trades, or fashion in only 14 weeks for full-time participants or 24 weeks for part-time. Don't count yourself out. Do what they did and enroll today. Email smartstart@btvi.edu.ds or call 502-6300 so you can take your walk anywhere in life.
Join us for the Bahamas Business Outlook Conference, Thursday, January 25th, 8:45 a.m. at the Bahamar Convention Center. We're bringing the business community together under the theme, Future Bahamas, branding the national identity and planning for success. The day includes a business expo, lunch, an art tour, keynote address by Prime Minister Davis, exciting panels, and so much more. Begin your year on a high note. Get your tickets today at tclevents.com.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Alive Business SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Alive Business at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Operation Potcake is an effort to humanely and kindly reduce the dog and cat populations of the Bahamas. And with me now to tell us more is Kim Aranha, President of the Bahamas Humane Society and Chairman of Operation Potcake 2024. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So tell us, what is Operation Potcake?
Okay, Operation Potcake is a 10-day initiative to try and reduce the amount of stray and roaming dogs and cats in New Providence. It's the only humane way to do this is to spay and neuter to make reproduction impossible, and therefore we have less and less dogs and cats on the street. It can't be done in just one go, but what we're doing is we're doing a huge start, 5 clinics across the island of New Providence, hoping to do over 3,000 dogs and cats in the period of the 18th to the 28th of January. It's free. If you have a Potcake, if you have a pit bull, whatever you have, if you'd like to have them fixed, we do it for free. Everybody who brings their own or brings an animal themselves into one of the clinics becomes eligible for a mini raffle. So there's a daily raffle in each clinic for a gift certificate to Super Value. And at the end, there is a grand prize, which will be a minimum of $300 or a flat screen TV or other prizes that we're still getting in. But you have to be the person that brings in an animal. If we have to go fetch it, you're not eligible for that raffle. But you're still eligible to have your dog or your neighbor's dog spayed or neutered for free.
And where do they have to bring the dog?
Okay, we have 5 clinics. We have one on East Street, one on Kemp Road, one just off Carmichael, one at the Old Punch location on Farrington Road, and the Bahamas Humane Society shelter. We will be doing cats.
That is, I want to say exciting, but it's really not exciting for the animals themselves.
You know, really, the animals they don't react like humans. They don't have the same needs. They're perfectly happy once they're fixed. They don't usually feel any post-operative pain. We will take them back to exactly where we found them. Once they come out of their anesthetic, we make sure they're okay. We give them their shots. We clean their ears. We trim their nails. I mean, they have a whole beauty spa going too, and they quite simply will not have any more puppies. And I can tell you, for some of those female dogs, that's a blessing.
Oh yeah. I was driving the other day and I saw quite a few Potcakes, and quite a few of them seemed to be pregnant, and I'm like, you know, you identified with it almost on a human level, like, oh, she's a mom and she doesn't know where she's going to get her next meal
It's
from.
raining cats and dogs. I mean, we have baskets of puppies and kittens brought to us at the shelter almost daily. We can't cope. We don't want to put anybody to sleep just because they're inconvenient or too many. So this is the only humane way to do it. But we will continue doing it through the years, but not quite as big as this effort. We have over 120 people coming in to help us.
That is incredible. Can you speak to the broader work of the Bahamas Humane Society and why it's so important?
Well, I'd like to point out that we are the oldest charity in the Bahamas. We turn 100 years old this year. Wow. And we are the first charity that was established here, therefore the oldest. Kindness to animals is essential because it has been proven, actually, that the guy that kicks the dog, that beats up the puppy, is eventually the guy who beats his child or beats up his wife. Violence is progressive. Mm-hmm. So kindness to animals taught to a child is essential. If you can't be kind to a 6-pound helpless puppy, how can you expect anybody to be kind to anything? Mm-hmm. So that is essential. Secondly, tourists hate to come here and see starving animals on the corner of the street. If you knew how many phone calls we get a year with tourists complaining, oh, I saw this dog on Junkanoo Beach, I saw this dog at Arawak Key, it's constant. The way to cure this is to be a responsible owner, keep your dog in your yard, and that's what we try to teach people week in and week out. And we do reach some people, but we haven't reached nearly enough.
You know, when it comes to these kinds of spay and neuter, activations like this isn't a first for the Humane Society. How did the time during the pandemic affect, these efforts and the dog and cat population?
Yeah, it's funny, actually. During the pandemic, people adopted because they wanted company. And then after the pandemic, we thought, oh, great, they were all keeping their pets. And then it started, that people said they couldn't afford it. We have a food bank where we do help people feed their pets, provided we know it's for real. and that can be proven quite easily. But if you own a pet and you're out of work and you don't want to give him up, we will help feed that individual pet. You can come every week and get dog food or cat food. But now it seems that people are doing better, and therefore they're maybe less empathetic for the animals. I don't know how you can walk past a starving dog, frequently on a chain, to go into your house every day and not feel something in here. You know, it's like, where is your heart?
In terms of all of the volunteers who are going to be participating in these efforts, where have they come from?
All over the world. I mean, we've got 100 local volunteers and about 120 foreign volunteers. Most of our foreign volunteers are veterinarians, vet technicians, and helping us trap. We don't have enough Bahamian professionals who can drop their work for 2 weeks and work for us for free. So it's entirely in agreement with the Veterinarian Association, and the local vets are coming in and out as much as they can. But, you know, they have professions, they have clients, they can't just drop everything. So they're from the Caribbean, some are from, there's a guy from India, there's America, Canada, all over the world.
All getting together to help to save the potcakes and to reduce the potcake population.
All coming in to help the Bahamas.
So remind us, if people want to bring a dog, where and when can they bring them?
Okay, well,
or a cat.
Our clinic's open on Thursday, which is the 18th.
Yes.
And we're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we're giving the vets 2 days rest, and then it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday again. The locations are Carmichael Road, East Street, Kemp Road, Farrington Road, and the Bahamas Humane Society. There are posters all over the place, and also if you need to, you can email us at operationpotcake242@gmail.com, and or go onto our webpage. And if you forget all of that, phone the Humane Society, and we'll tell you all over again.
This is incredible work, very important work in terms of teaching the public to be responsible and to be kind to animals. I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for highlighting us today. And please, please, spay and neuter your dog and cat.
And that is the lesson for today. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
One thing, two things, new thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right in the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
It has been a great Friday here on Bahamas at Sunrise. We had so many exciting conversations about some of the things that are going on in the country. We're looking forward to hosting Carifta 2024, the Aquatics division here in the Bahamas. And so we definitely want you to get involved, reach out to Bahamas Aquatics, see how you can support just to make this event a success and make sure that we represent well on the global stage. I started out encouraging you to take it 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 week at a time, so that we can win the year. If you didn't win this week, that's okay. Take this weekend to rest and reflect, and we'll try again next week, and we'll start when you tune in on Monday at Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll see you then.